Welcome to a Q&A video. In this video, I'm going to answer the question that I recently got on my Instagram account and just answer them in one place in a YouTube video. The questions about my lifestyle and business. So without further ado, let's dive right into it. My name is Veronika Edali. I'm a CEO of a modest activewear brand, Fifth Generation Apparel, a content creator and photographer. I've been through the trenches of entrepreneurship and now I'm sharing my story. I'm here to empower and help you work towards your dreams. Whether that means becoming a successful entrepreneur, up-leveling your mindset, or creating impactful content online. I create educational and motivational videos full of practical advice for women who are ready to have more control over their lives and are looking to follow their true passion. If you're ready to learn, get inspired, then listen up, my friend. What is the best advice you've ever received? This is something that my husband said about a year ago that really stuck with me. And here it goes. The time will pass anyway, so you might as well do something meaningful with it. And it really resonated with me because I live my life believing that each and every single day is a gift and we're not promised another day. So we need to make sure we make our time in this world count. So we need to make sure we live a meaningful life. So I always try to get the most out of my day and do things that bring me joy and happiness, that I show up for my business, I create content, I try to show up in all areas of my life the best way that I can. I really cherish the time I have with my children. I know that they're growing so fast and I am just really trying to be very mindful of how I spend my time with them and just living my life to the fullest, because time will pass anyway. And if we end up not doing anything with it or not pursuing our goals or not showing up for our faith, then, just like that, our entire life will just, in a blink of an eye, it'll pass. So we have to be very mindful of what we do with that time. And this is something that stuck with me. And I truly believe this is the best advice I received. And I try to implement it in my life every single day. When is the new swimwear line coming along? So, yeah, swimwear. For those of you who don't know, I'm a founder and CEO of a modest activewear brand, Fifth Generation Apparel. We specialize in modest activewear and modest swimwear. We are currently out of stock on our current swimwear, and we have been out of stock for a little while. So there's clearly still a lot of need and there is a gap in the market when it comes to modest swimwear that is functional. So we get the questions like that all the time. When is the new swimwear coming? And I can assure you, we are working on it. We have actually completed the first round of samples and we had to rework our entire concept because we're trying to be innovative and trying to find that balance between modesty and functionality. We want to bring out a swimsuit that is modest, very modest, but it won't be a safety hazard in the water. So it takes a while to figure it out and to finalize the design. So we are reworking our entire concept right now, and we are very soon be moving on to the next round of samples, hopefully getting it right in the next few months, so that we can finally sign off the design and start manufacturing them and bringing them into life later this year in 2022. Keep your eyes peeled. The new swimwear will be coming to the store, inshallah, hopefully sooner rather than later. Have you ever struggled with hijab? Yes, 100%. Wearing hijab in the West, especially, is not easy. Wearing the hijab as a revert, convert to Islam, is not easy. So I have definitely went through my fair share of struggles with hijab, but we worked through it. Me and my hijab together. We came together and we worked through it. And alhamdulillah, at this point in my life, I feel very confident in my hijab. I love my hijab. I understand the value and the benefits I get being a hijabi. So yes, I actually created an entire video about how I overcame my hijab struggle. So I'm going to link it over here. Make sure you check it out if you are struggling with hijab. You know, you're not alone. Why do you want to homeschool your kids? Great question. Recently, I have asked my Instagram community about homeschooling resources. I've also interviewed Angela Armstrong, who is a fellow homeschooling mom. I have her interview over here. Make sure you check it out if you're interested in homeschooling. But homeschooling is something that I believe is such a great way for you to spend time with your children and educate your children when you, of course, have the time and the bandwidth to do so. I personally had not a very great experience in traditional school setting. My primary school years were pretty shocking. My teachers were not very supportive of me. I used to stutter as a kid, and instead of supporting me and helping me through that challenge, I was mocked in front of the entire class. And, you know, it still gives me like every time I try to read out loud now, my ears burn. It affected me for the rest of my life, and I don't want that for my kids. Also, I remember learning about the things that I would never use in my life. And I just wish I had the opportunity to learn about the things I was truly passionate about and stuff that I really wanted to learn, like, you know, business and marketing and filmmaking and all of that good stuff that brings me so much passion, stuff that I want to learn, because we spend so much of our life, our school years, learning about stuff that we are not interested in. So, and I think that just a wasted opportunity. So, which brings me to, you know, the first question is, you know, the time will pass anyway. Might as well do something meaningful with it. Time will pass anyway. Might as well learn something and do something that you're passionate about. And I want to instill that in my kids early on. And I also don't want them to be tied to a certain system. I want them to follow their interests, and I want them to be kind of free. So in the future, we want to travel. Inshallah, this world and the COVID situation will become better. Nothing is permanent in this world, so I'm really praying this COVID will go away already and we can go back to our lives. But I want to travel. I want them to see the world, and I don't want them to be locked in a school system that is rigid and doesn't allow that flexibility. So, but to me is my way, to you is your way. If homeschooling is not for you and you don't agree with what I have to say, that's fine. That's your family and those are your kids. You know what's best for your kids. I believe that this is best for my kids, and that's why I believe that homeschooling is the way to go, and that's what we're gonna do. Why did you decide to do modest activewear? Well, I personally struggled with finding modest activewear and swimwear when I was a new hijabi, when I started my fitness journey, and I really wanted to be active outdoors with my husband, and everything that was available on the market and what I had was so unbreathable, uncomfortable, and just I had to layer up to do all of those fun outdoor activities, and of course I was very uncomfortable in the process. So I knew if I was going through that and not really enjoying what I was wearing, and what I was wearing for activities outdoors was very uncomfortable and not functional. If I was struggling with it, there must have been other women struggling with it. And lo and behold, I've done my market research, and there's a huge gap in the market when it comes to modest activewear. And that's where it all started, with a very distinct problem that needed a solution. And then I got inspired, and the rest was history. Alhamdulillah, we've had our business. We're on to our third year now, and we have a lot of exciting things happening in the pipeline. This is something I'm so passionate about, and me running my business brings me just so much purpose and joy, and knowing that I am helping other women who are in the same boat as I am to live a healthy and active lifestyle and show up in their hijab confidently and just like loving their outdoor activities, loving their workouts, and being super comfortable. And it makes me so excited, and it gives me butterflies in my tummy, all the good things. But yes, that's why I wanted to start a modest activewear. And to this day, I know it was the right direction to take my business in. And I'm so excited to see what the future holds. Inshallah, exciting times to come. What is the biggest lesson I learned starting my own brand? Okay, the biggest lesson. Content is everything. Content marketing is everything. You as a business owner should be focused on creating content and outsource everything else as soon as you can. So you need to look at your brand, and if you're the face of your brand, you have to know where you can move the needle in your business. For me, I am the face of my brand. And me creating content, talking about my brand, educating people about my brand, sharing behind the scenes, and creating content around my brand and my story, that's what helps me connect with my customers on an emotional level. So it's not me doing accounting in the background. It's not me necessarily fulfilling the orders, even though I still do that to this day just because it's easy in our current setting. But it's also not me illustrating the designs. I come up with the designs, and I get a designer to illustrate them for me and put tech packs for me, just because it would take them a couple of hours to do it. It would take me a whole 2 weeks to do it, just because this is not my strength. So recognizing what your strengths are, knowing that you creating content for your business, that's what's going to get people to get to know you better and trust your brand more. And also realizing that you need an audience. If people don't know who you are and what you do, especially if you run an online business, you will not be selling products. So it's important for you to build an audience, and that way, the more people will know about you and what you do, the more chances you are to make your business a success. So content is everything. Having an audience is everything. You can have the most amazing product, but if people don't know what you do, if people don't know what you offer and what you sell, no one's going to buy from you. So focus on the content from the get-go. Focus on the content before you even start your business. Build your personal brand, build your audience, build your ideal customer audience, and then launch your business. You have to understand, you have to do the uncomfortable things. You have to show up in front of the camera. You have to tell your story, because no one will tell your story and sell your product the way that you do. No one cares enough. No one cares as much as you do about your own product. So get out there and create content and connect with people and be an open book, and you'll see magic happen. I promise you that. Do you know anyone who teaches Russian in Auckland? So I am based in Auckland, and I don't know people personally, but I know the resources. You can Google, which I will Google, and I'm gonna leave a couple of links in the description below for you. And there's also this Russian group that my mom is a part of on Facebook. I'm gonna link it over here as well in the description below. There are a lot of Russian professionals there, Russians in New Zealand, Russians in Auckland, and I'm sure they will be able to point you in the right direction, or there might even be a teacher over there. But I also know that a few schools offer Russian language class. There's definitely plenty of resources out there in Auckland. Do you sometimes wish Auckland was more inclusive of the Muslim community, more shops, etc.? Well, yes, of course. There's no limit to perfection. There is no limit to, inclusivity and all of that stuff. The more, the merrier, of course. It will be great. Auckland is the most diverse place in New Zealand. So living in the Western world, I'm already grateful that there is a lot of mosques around. There are a lot of places where you can get halal food. There is an Islamic school. There's plenty out there for people who live in Auckland, for Muslim community who lives in Auckland. You probably have the most of things that are halal and that are Muslim friendly. So that's great. But once again, there is always room for improvement. And of course, the more shops we have, the more Muslim businesses. So if you are an entrepreneurial Muslima who lives in Auckland and you really want to bring a Muslim product to the market, please do it. Please do it. We need it. We definitely need it. We need more Muslim options within Auckland so that the shipping is very accessible and so that we don't have to go overseas to purchase what we need. For example, I really wanted to purchase a little mini, I actually have it here. I wanted to purchase a little prayer rug for my toddler and I couldn't find it in Auckland. I couldn't find it in New Zealand. I had to order this from Australia just because I couldn't find it in Auckland or New Zealand. So yes, I think we need more shops and it all comes down to us Muslims in Auckland to start businesses and bringing Muslim-friendly halal products so we can have it here. So come on, guys. It's time to start your business. And on this positive note, that's it. That's all the questions I got. And I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any more questions for me, please make sure you leave them in the comment section below. And I will surely make a part 2 to this video and answer all of them. But I really enjoy filming Q&As. They're fun. Anyways, don't forget to subscribe to my channel and I'll catch you in the next video. Assalamu alaikum. Thank you so much for watching. I'll catch you later.